I'm tethering.
Hi, oh my God,
We
we're live.
live.
Hi, you guys. Hi, everybody. Welcome back
Hi.
to A Queen's Wit Monday.
Hi guys. So I'm Mercy and
I'm Sheila, also known as Madame Bay, on every platform, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. That's Mercy's handle at the tour on all platforms too. And today we're going to be talking about the lies that Hollywood fed us.
so the lies that raised us. Okay, why this topic and why did we feel the need to talk about it? It's because lately, I'm a very big movie fan. Like movie fan, as in I don't know anyone who is a movie fan like me. And for me, the way I watch movies, funny thing is I look for answers in the movies because, as they tell us, the truth is always hidden in plain sight. Yeah. So during this time of COVID, we've had a lot of time to analyze so many things. We've had time to, scrutinize so many things that we were taking in before, So now we are faced with a challenge of actually examining the things we were fed with and how they affected our life right now. So yeah, that's where that topic came from. And the fact that we have children right now where we are more cautious. Our parents might not have not been cautious, but we are more cautious, and we can change the narrative and what our children are taking in as opposed to what we took in. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, one of the things Mercy and I were talking about recently is the fact that our parents were a little bit strict on movies and
Hi,
entertainment. Hi, and we used to be like, why don't we have this? We didn't grow up with DSTV, which is very surprising. We didn't get to.
DSTV is the equivalent of cable.
Yeah, oh yeah. So we didn't have that, so we never got so influenced by this. But at that time we were so angry because we would go to school and we're not the cool kids, by the way. We're not the cool kids because we didn't
For
know
not
all that
knowing
stuff.
the cartoons, you don't know the
Yeah.
innocent Ferb, you don't know the real characters in. You only watch it once, like those three girls, Powerpuff Girls. I didn't even know their names.
Yes.
I've never known their names. I don't care now. People knew their stories, and because they had television at home and they were exposed to this kind
Oh
of
my
thing.
God, Mercy. I didn't see the title, Hollyweird.
Yeah, it's totally weird.
So recently, Mercy and I have been doing our research. I'm so grateful for Mercy in my life because there are certain things I would never have had access to, even if they're in plain sight. You know what I mean? And also thank God for COVID because
it's also like Sheila. It's also just like Sheila is a curious person. Like, when you're curious, you question everything. So when you question everything, you're able to find your own truth within whatever it is you're searching for. So Sheila was curious to find out. I've always been curious. Sometimes I don't like the things that I know. I don't like the fact that I know the things that I know, but knowledge is power.
So yeah, when COVID started, I don't even want to use that word. When this whole quarantine thing started,
COVID.
when quarantine started, it was this kind of thing that it put everyone to just ask questions. Now the first question came in with movies for me, actually. That movie, what's that movie? That movie that it became very popular when this whole quarantine began. What is it? Oh my God, I've forgotten the movie, but it's about a virus. The what?
I think Contaminated or something.
Yeah, I don't even remember what it was called.
I know the movie you're talking about.
Then I'm like, why is it that all of this stuff is so predicted the way it is? And then after that, people
reduce your stereo. It's really making my ears and
head hurt.
hurt.
That's how I talk, Mercy, unless I have a list.
Just try. It's too strong. You have no idea.
Meanwhile, I'm very far away from the computer, so I don't know how you can hear it that much. Anyway, where was I? So then I started seeing these things on Instagram about like what are they called? These cartoons. I wrote down the name, The Simpsons and whatever, predicting things that were going to happen. Donald Trump being president. I don't know, all this crazy shit. So then I told Mercy, Mercy, there is something weird happening in the world, but I don't know what it is. You guys don't forget to share if you are enjoying what we are talking about. So Mercy sends me a link of this video. When I saw this video, you guys, it's one of those videos that I watched the first one and the second one, and I scratched my head because I couldn't, that kind of thing. I'm like, what's wrong with the world? Because I found out how Hollywood started. And before this, I used to think, oh my God, what kind of person invented such a thing? Like, it's so amazing that it gets to entertain people and we get to be ourselves. Do we really get to be ourselves? Is the first thing. It's the first question I started to ask myself. Because we're not being ourselves, we are being influenced by these things that we watch on TV, and we grow up being this person. When I was in college, when I was in USA, you must say I would go and watch Gossip Girl.
Can you explain that thing of the how it's really like?
I'm going to explain it.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to leave you to explain it. Let me just finish my point. I would watch Gossip Girl all night, and when I come out, let me know in the comments which character you used to relate to. I asked Mercy which character in Gossip Girl she related to, and she goes like Blair, and I'm like, really? And for me, I felt like a Serena. And the moment I got out of my hostel after watching Gossip Girl overnight, I was acting like these people. Like I was talking like them, doing all this funny.
Vanderwoodson, huh?
Yeah. So also this other thing, this black girl show, what is it called? Insecure. Mercy, I watch Insecure and I come out talking to Izzy on the phone. Bitches ain't niggas ain't shit. Baba niggas are tripping, some shit like that. And I'm like, yo, who talks like this? So we don't.
When I watched Lost, when I used to watch Lost when I was in college, I would dream that I'm on an island, the plane has fallen, and I'm in this fight. I mean, because I have been programmed. That brings us to our point of like TVs are actually programs, That's why they call it a program, and it's a media, meaning like a medium. You know how you reach God? There are different mediums through which you can reach God. There are different mediums through which you can talk to each other. It's the same medium through which people feed you with information to create an outcome, like they think about these things prior because they want this kind of outcome. So what happens is that they create a media, or medium, and through these mediums you're going to get a channel. On those channels, those are channels leading to different people. So because they are channels, you find that there is a football channel, you find that there is a action pack channel, children's channel,
lifestyle
channel,
history.
every kind of channel. And when you really think about it, it's really, really sick, because when they say there are different channels to reach God, you start to think, okay, there are different channels to reach God. Then the opposite also true, the opposite is also true. So what happens is that these channels bring information in form of from media to channels to programs. So you pick a channel and you're getting programmed. Every time you're watching criminal channel, I always wondered, why do they show extreme criminal action on TV? How does that impact the world and stuff like that? Like, is it thought after? Is it there? Is it like the point of showing extreme violence where someone is torturing another person, or like the whole predictive programming whereby they show you something that they are planning to happen in the future, so that your reaction is not as scared, as scary, so that they program you, they prepare you for what they're about to drop on you, and the funny thing is, people, when you say that they are programming you, you think it's happening like, oh, program, okay, now I'm going to program you. No, it's everything that you're watching. Oh my God, the sun has come. So everything you're watching is going to your subconscious mind. And it's not like, that's why you don't remember most of the dialogue or whatever, because it's your subconscious mind. It's the things that get to your subconscious mind, especially the morals, the values, the virtues, everything that you're learning from the movie is what you're going to put into your subconscious mind. And you think it's not like going to affect you. And then you find yourself acting like a certain person. Yeah. Whether it's a killer, whether it's a prostitute, whether it's like a banker, or we all find our role models from Hollywood. You're like, who is your best actor? My best actor will always act. He's no longer my best actor. After finding out what Hollywood people are doing, I don't like him. it was Anthony Hopkins, but now I don't care for him. And yeah, they can all go to hell. I don't care.
I fear that, guys. So you guys tell us in the comments what movies or TV shows you grew up on, what music groomed you, because it's not just about the movies, by the way, even the music. Because
there is,
what, Mercy?
I think it's a general connection of the broadcast itself. So we have
Let
to
us know if you guys can see us. We're really, really sorry for this inconvenience. But like I was saying, let us know in the comments which TV shows groomed you, which TV shows you like to watch. Is it cartoons? Which music you listen to and made an impact on your life? Because in most cases, this music we listen to influences us either to think a certain way or maybe because we relate to what they're saying. Anyway, how many of you guys?
They don't want Africans knowing this because they want us to be programmed and our children and our children's children to be programmed. Musimanya watching Riviera. I remember when I was young, there was a show called Riviera, and it was the first time I saw a man kissing a woman, and I ran away. It was called Riviera, and I was like 5 years old. It was like a soap opera, and then like what they would do is that they would show you something like Shaka Zulu, and then they would show Shaka Zulu in such a demonic like picture of some guy who is just so like not really in his true warrior self, but in like some guy who is very like, you know how they portray Idi Amin, you know. Even the shows when we were growing up here, sometimes I would wonder like how far they would go, you know, with what they were showing us. And even right now, like how far they are showing children. In fact, let's not even worry about ourselves because for us, we've grown, you know. It's our discernment right now to be like, hey, when I watch this, how is it going to help me? Truth be told, I watch movies for the lies, to find out the lies and to also find out what they are planning for us, you know. So after watching all those things and then seeing Westworld, if you guys have watched Westworld, please get into Westworld. Westworld is a series.
Mercy, sorry to cut you off. For the longest time, Mercy kept on telling me, Sheila, have you watched Westworld? Have you watched Westworld? But I'm not a movie person. I'm not really into movies. In fact, if you told me to pick a movie, I'll pick the worst, you know? But Mercy goes like, Sheila, watch Westworld. But then I watched Westworld after knowing what I know right now. And I'm like, there are certain things I can't explain in depth.
And to even make it worse, Sheila, like, when you're putting Westworld aside, let's talk about our story, like Africans and Black people. Our story has been distorted because remember one of the lives of miseducation, we talked about like he who wins the war writes the story. Yeah, our history has been distorted and it has been pushed forward by movies because they put this thing quote unquote like if you want to keep or hide something from a Black man, put it in a book. So all the truth is in the book, but they have created a society whereby the truth is sought in the movies. For example, you'll see that they will make a movie about, let's say Egypt or the 300, or you know, and completely distort the facts, whereby they'll bring you something that is a little bit close to Blackness, but not really Blackness. So, in other words, saying like people who are dark skinned are not beautiful Blackness, you know, and then they bring in colorism, you know, whereby they choose mixed race ambiguous people to represent Blackness, whereby we are not all the same color like that, so we don't feel represented. So in the end, it has made most of our men and women feel like the SI unit for beauty in Black community is the mixed race or racially ambiguous woman. So that's how Hollywood has really shaped us, whereby you even find in Uganda, where we used to think like Black is beautiful, and where you can actually see so many. You guys, I'm so sorry for my light. Oh, this side is
nice.
Yeah. So shit, I forgot my train of thought.
In Uganda, where people think Black is beautiful.
Yes, we've always thought Black is beautiful, but they always made it. But right now, you see that the narrative has been pushed that mixed race is better, or racially ambiguousness is better, or because it has been pushed in Hollywood, in music videos, all the video vixens that are a center of attention, or like are the prize or whatever for the men, for the black men, are always racially ambiguous women, or so those are the shapings of Hollywood. And even right now you can see it, the fact that we always had these kind of curvaceous bodies, Africans. We always had this kind of curvaceous bodies, but it has now become quote unquote mainstream,
Oh my God,
by
I wanted to talk about that so badly because
you talk about it.
there are so many things that I'm going to talk about one particular family, and I'm not attacking them. I used to be the biggest fan of the Kardashians, you guys. But you start to think, you start, you start to think about them, and you're like, okay. First of all, in the movie industry, the SI unit for beauty was like Marilyn Monroe, like white girl with pink lips. Oh, Marilyn Monroe, actually, that's not
Blonde
it.
hair,
She was a little bit. Marilyn Monroe, how to say, was curvaceous. It's people before that, like that say. Actually, the people that introduce modeling, like women need to go stand and pose naked for some men and tell them to like who you like what they should be. And the SI unit for you winning was you had to like you needed a sandwich basically, And then we go on now to the Kardashians, making it seem like everyone wants to have the Kardashian body, which is an African body. That is a typical African
even
body.
the lips. You're forgetting the lips.
Oh, how can I forget the lips? Oh my God. And that's not the biggest thing. My biggest problem with them is the fact that they endorse products that people are buying on people's weaknesses. Like me, I'm in the health and wellness industry. So I see all these people advertising like tea, fit tea, slim tea, I don't know, whatever those teas are called. And then, do you think those guys use those things? No. In fact, one day there was this interview with Kim Kardashian, and they asked her why she endorses such stuff. She goes like, her kids need to eat. How much do her kids need to eat? Like when you think about it, does she really have to endorse fake products for her children to eat? She doesn't need it. But a lot of Hollywood is like that, and they're groomed from childhood. For us, we think it's just entertainment. These people have come to entertain us, but nah.
And to even make it worse, like Sheila, let's analyze Hannah Montana, the person. Like, you remember how Miley was? Like what we knew her as Hannah Montana, the child, blah blah blah. But if someone has grown up in a protected environment and breaks out, like as an artist, let's say at 18, the kind of behavior Miley was exhibiting when she came out, as like when she finally stopped being Hannah Montana, it felt like she had been through so much abuse, and she had seen so much, during the time in Dis-Neay, which brings us to the point of Dis-Neay, that Dis-Neay is one big culprit. That, guys, now I appreciate the Islamic notion of like, don't watch animations, because they program you into, it's easy for someone to create a character and make that character suit whatever it is that you are looking for in something, So with this, when it comes to, why don't we make our own characters? We should make our own African characters. If you're saying Dora the Explorer, we can also make our own Dora. This is how you find perverted things, because this is not really our culture. You find perverted, hidden in plain sight symbols that are meant to program children and make them, what do they call it? Groom them for sex at such a young age, like make their subconscious aware of sex at such a young age, So,
Mercy, just out of curiosity, at what age did you know about sex?
To be honest with you, I knew people have sex, but you mean the actual act of thingy?
I don't know. Just when did your curiosity about sex basically begin? Like what sparked the curiosity?
I was so young. And it's unfortunate that I was so young.
Even me, I think about this whole thing. It's so unfortunate that I'm going to talk about this, like the whole thing of masturbation and everything. When I think about it, I'm laughing because I'm like, this is so sick.
Like, how do they program you?
Yeah, to start having such thoughts, because it's, why would a kid know such things?
Sheila, you knew masturbation.
I knew. That's what I'm saying, man. I can't. I
You're on
cannot.
another level. I did not know about that. I knew people come together and they do bad manners,
Bad manners.
but I did not know the bad manners. I finally found out about the bad manners when I was 9, and still that's too
I was
young.
going to
I
say,
was
like,
like,
did you play mommy and daddy? When you were playing mommy and daddy, you are not doing those, you are not playing such funny things. I cannot believe we're talking about this.
no, but no, because like our mommy and daddy was very like. The good thing is most of the boys that they were either too older, they were older, much older, or they were younger. So what happened was we would just play and just make the whoever, my little brother, the housemaid, and call her Navisa Nico. It was innocent at that point. It was innocent. But what I mean is, like, of course, there used to be moments where you, like, for example, you go to me being in boarding school, yeah, or at such an early age, there used to be sometimes that you find a girl who is much older than you and they touch you, or a boy and they try something. But it was quite protected because it was so many children. There was nowhere you could hide doing something like that. But it's quite absurd when we learn such things.
You guys tell us what you think in the comments, because I don't even know how this conversation got here. But that's what we are saying. Honey, we are here to learn things that you're too young to learn. That I feel like naturally certain things should happen, like sex and everything. Naturally, it will happen because the older you grow, the more you start getting hormones and everything. But as a child, you don't know those things, so you should not be. What do you think about?
Like, there is no child has a business learning or knowing what sex is, at least until the age of 6. Like by 6, you should be knowing, okay, my mom and dad got me by getting together, but they should not know how, where to touch and what happened. At least that should be taught in school, like with biology, not on TV with people, trying to tell you. For example, yesterday I watched a documentary of kids who were saying, they were asking them when did they watch American Pie, when it had just come out. That was, I don't know, in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
American Pie was so vulgar. But there were 11-year-olds saying, yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I watched it. 9 years old saying, yes, I watched it. Like a man humping a pizza. He was humping a pizza.
exactly. That's why I'm telling. That's why I asked you, Mercy, when did you know about masturbation? Because it can't be 11. It's
No,
before,
Sheila, he was humping a pizza. No, a
which is
pie. It was
technically,
a pie. Sorry, it was a pie. It
Mercy,
was a
that's a form of masturbation. Humping a pie. It's not actual. It's whatever you use, because people use whatever it is they're using.
But then what does that do to the psyche of a 7-year-old, 9-year-old who is watching this American Pie guy doing such things? So that's the perversion. For example, I was also watching another one, the perversion where they say, for example, like in the 50s when they started programming people, they started bringing up things like movies to push drugs, movies to push homosexuality in communities that were not yet really like open to homosexuality.
My God,
I
Mercy,
don't.
it's something I don't want to forget. Speaking of homosexuality, do you realize how these guys brought schools into our countries and made single-sex schools? And that,
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
I
want to
think
forget that.
why that was happening. I think when these guys came, they were like, "Oh my God, Africans, they can have one woman can have 15 children. What the hell? How is that possible? One woman to have 15 children naturally? That had to be stopped in that way. So they put on top of bringing education, which was total nonsense. The schools, the single schools, which I happen to go to one, like the single schools of separating you, like indoctrinating you into some sort of like femininity or toxic masculinity or dumbing down your masculinity, or like all that stuff, that
I have
giving
a
you
lot to
balance
say,
of the yin and the yang.
which brings me to another thing, because you're fighting about all things. Do you realize this whole Disney school upbringing of fighting against each other? like you're always competing, you always feel the need to compete, yet it's not a competition when you look at it
Yeah,
at the end of the world,
in
at
the
the end of the
movies,
world.
they show you the cool kids. These are the cool kids. So this is what coolness means. Being cool, you need to have the latest clothes, the latest gadgets. And for being cool right now, oh my God, I think parents are dying because their children are so demanding. Being cool right now means you have probably an iPhone.
The latest
Your parents,
iPhone.
yeah, your parents fly out of you fly out of the country every now and then, like not even every now and then, because right now capitalism it's like optimum high, that even the ones who are in the middle class are striving hard to be in the upper middle class, so they will do anything for their children and for themselves to appear as if they are rich because of the movies, because richness has been described to us. It's the same thing when you say Hollywood. It's the same thing with Instagram. All these Hollywood people will put up a lifestyle, for example, liposuction, or like go get your body done, pump your ass. You forget that they do it from very expensive places. And then there are these Colombian, very fake, cheap places that people are dying, people have side effects, people have, you know,
But we don't see that.
and we don't see that. They don't show it to you. They just show you, hey, when I didn't have a good body, I used to get this and this, but now I have this and this because of my nice body, because it has been pushed inside you. Like they have made us believe that we are not enough. Like you're not enough. Banange, I'm too skinny, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too this, I'm too this, I'm too that. Like it's because we keep on seeing every time. We keep on seeing something every time it's put in your face. Oh, black women are not beautiful. The beautiful women are this and this and this and this. Eventually the men are also going to start thinking, yeah, maybe black women are not beauty. They don't, because it has been pushed in our faces. Even in our own like continent, you'll see that light skin is, and we have no problem with light skin. I'm just saying that that's not the SI unit for beauty. We all know where we came from. So we need to watch what sources we are. There are some things I recommend if you want to start really like digging into the truth, and because it really does help what you put inside of you, what you put inside, like just like what you eat, what you're watching, or it goes in your psyche. Truth be told, ever since the beginning of this year, and whatever happened to the world, I don't remember. Yeah, I last watched the movie. I last watched was this weekend, and it was The Color Purple, which I want to say something about. It was released in 1985, but the story is based on a lifestyle of 1900s, right? And it's basically African American story of showing you the dynamics between the man and the woman, but they are totally flawed. They represented the black man in this movie as very violent, very stupid, very irresponsible, lack of discernment, lack of, like, he's not like remorseful about anything. And then they had Oprah to represent the fat, aggressive black woman. Then they had what's her name, Whoopi Goldberg, to represent the hardworking, ugly woman. Then they had another one, the good-looking one, the mixed one, to represent the black whore. You know, and then you see that's how it has played out in society. Ever since the 70s, and it's produced by Steven Spielberg. What does Steven Spielberg, does he have goodness in putting out the image of the black person? So those are the things that I kept on seeing. So right now, when you watch a movie, watch the movie for the lies or for the truth. The lies being what they want you to take in, and the truth actually being what they are hiding in plain sight in front of you. So you have to be smart and understand what it is you're taking in, and you do your research. Basically, do your research. Everything is something. Like everything that you see is there for a reason. Everything that you see is there for a reason.
I want to
Everything.
say something.
Please do.
Matthew, you've talked, but I've been wanting to say something because I feel like it's going to be the conclusion of all this. At the end of the day, you look at all these people and you ask yourself, why do these people have all this much money and they're unstable? But these are the people that we are following. This shit, this worldly shit that we are following, that Hollywood is making us seem like it's a cool shit, is really draining of your mental self. And if you follow, that's why you find yourself conflicting with yourself, because you're like, oh my God, what do I really, you don't even know what you really want, and you don't know yourself because you've been programmed and groomed to be this other thing. And I believe that prayer was supposed to be our way of not connecting to these things, but even prayer was infiltrated, and you have to accept that we pray, but we don't even know what we are praying about. You know what I mean? We are praying, for example, I'm born and raised Muslim, and I'm not attacking Muslims right now, but I'm just saying it in this kind of way that I like praying knowing what I'm praying. And
In what
I feel
language
like
you mean?
everyone can pray to God in their language. As that's when you think about meditation, and that's why you see of late a lot of people are getting into meditation and finding themselves. And the people who decide that they don't want to be up there in Hollywood, like they actually let everything go because it's draining. And I don't know, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, all this stuff that you get from Hollywood is not worth it. It's not worth your knowledge. It's not worth taking your mental capacity. Because actually, Mercy, the other day I read something. I'm doing a video about procrastination, and this guy goes like, the reason why we procrastinate a lot is because our minds, like a battery, even we have a battery for for choosing things. So you wake up in the morning and you're saying, what am I going to do? The thing that is going to give you the most dopamine is that thing that you're used to, which is getting the dopamine is the hormone for having fun, the feel-good hormone. So you're used to getting onto your phone and like looking at Instagram, so you have that feel-good hormone of, oh my God, I feel so good, because I don't know, you get instant gratification, and you don't have those things in your life. Because you don't have those things in your life, you start to feel bad and feel like you're not worth it. You're not going to, like, you can't get that kind of life. Yet you could, but you're spending a lot of your time on this whole thing called, you're spending a lot of your time on this thing
Sheila,
called,
you are still continuing.
yes, I said I'm not going to stop because of the internet. So yeah, in the end, you have to be mindful of what you are watching, because Hollywood is meant to program us through all the different channels. And you also have to realize, let me give you something to live by. Do your research. Go and find out who are the owners of entertainment, and how did entertainment come about? How did Hollywood come about? Who owns the different news platforms, CNN, BBC, whatever. You're going to find like all these people, Dis-Neay, BBC, whatever, they're all connected in a certain kind of way, and they're all there to program us to think a certain kind of way and not work on ourselves, and just also be confused, always be competing with each other, always be jealous. We actually did a video on jealousy. The reason why we are jealous is because we feel like other people have stuff that we don't have and we should have. Anyway, it's a lot of different things, but yeah, Mercy's internet is tripping. I think we are going to end this live very soon, but thank you guys for being here. As always, I'm Sheila, also known as Madambe, and Mercy, known as the Tura on different platforms. Still cannot see her, but yeah, thank you guys for hanging with us. And I want Mercy to sign out, but she hasn't. You guys, what do you guys think about today's live? Do you guys want us to do more of these, more money mindset, more, I don't know, what would you guys want to see more of? Let us know, so that next week we come up with something fun for you. And because today you guys didn't write so much. Anyway, our internet has been messed up, but thank you guys for hanging with us. It was nice. I'm going to call Mercy and tell her to sign out. Bye.